Welcome to Sports Talk.
Hello, welcome. I'm Nick. I'm talking about sports, and today we're going to be over the 2021 NFL draft grade for the Los Angeles Chargers, the LA Chargers. Hey, I'm a Raiders fan, but hey, me and Mike both, we were a big fan of Justin Herbie. All right, we're big fans of his. And nobody else was saying it. And listen, I have nothing but the most respect for the LA Chargers. I'm a big fan of Justin Herbert, big fan of your first-round pick. I don't disrespect you guys. I don't mind you guys. I don't like the Chiefs. Don't mind the Chargers. Mike, let's hop into this, man. Rashawn, Slater, what do you think?
Well, I'll tell you this real quick. I had this written down in my notes because I read this somewhere and I thought that this was amazing. Justin Herbert this past season was pressured 217 times. That's the most for a rookie quarterback since the year of 2009. And he did what he did with that pressure. That is absolutely amazing. And what did the Chargers do? They're like, our quarterback threw 30-something. What did he throw, 30 touchdowns, I think? Oh, it doesn't matter. One rookie of the year. What are we going to do? Let's give him some more time in the pocket. You take Rashawn Slater with the 13th pick. I absolutely love it. He is versatile. He can move around the line. Phenomenal offensive tackle. He was my second to Penny Sewell. But who knows? This guy could be better than Penny Sewell. I think they were both very, very, very good. It was just what you rather – like who you would rather want. I think they were very close neck and neck. I had Penny Sewell with a slight piece above him. This guy can pass block. He can run block. He can do it all. I love the pick, Chargers. You needed it. You needed it.
I agree with you 100%. The whole Penny Sewell thing. Everyone's saying Penny Sewell is a generational talent, and he was at left tackle. Detroit's moving into right tackle.
Yeah. See,
Detroit, what are you doing, Detroit? I mean, terrible. If you wanted someone that can move around, Rashawn Slater was the guy. On film, I saw him both at left and right tackle. Yeah, he's versatile enough to do that. Penny Sewell never played right tackle. I said one of the most versatile tackles in a draft. Great hips. I always say you need flexibility at the hips. He has it. Great flexibility he also has. That's great. And great IQ. I did not see the mean streak I like to see with a lot of people running him into the ground, right, going out, laying people out. But I said, but this kid is solid in both the run and pass game. I give this an A. He was my second-ranked offensive tackle behind Penny Sewell at left tackle. Sewell's moving to right tackle. We don't know what's going to happen. Rashawn Slater very well could be the best offensive tackle in this draft. They got him where at 13, you said? That is a hell of a pick. Love the pick. A for the grade. Let's do the next guy, Asante Samuel Jr. Go ahead.
All right, Asante Samuel Jr., big name, big name to live up to. Asante Samuel, his father, was an absolutely phenomenal cornerback in this league. I think Asante Samuel Jr. is very good too. I don't think he's quite his father, but I think he's going to be a solid cornerback for the Chargers this year. He was my fourth-ranked corner. In my opinion, he's a little bit undersized, but his father wasn't a big guy either, and it did not hold him back whatsoever. I don't think he's as fast as he should be for his size. That concerns me also. But I saw him be I think he's an above-average athlete. I think he covered decently in man and zone coverage. The problem with this Florida State team is their defense was terrible. So that could have played a little bit to how he looked on film. From what I understand, they didn't get much pass rush. I believe this is one of the – they struggled. They were one of the worst defenses of the top college football teams out there. That's what I read. That's what I heard, watched on tape. So I think Asante Samuel Jr. is better than what he showed because he probably was kind of just left out in the dry a lot of the time. I saw him. He has some good ball skills and he's gritty. You got to be physical and gritty as a defender. You got to play nasty. I like Asante Samuel Jr. I think if he falls with this defense, this is a solid defense, this LA Chargers defense, I think he can have success here. I like the pick.
Yeah, Asante Samuel Jr., I'd say good downfield coverage cornerback. He gets a lot of interceptions, but they're throwing a lot right to him on the film I watched. A lot of the interceptions they got was thrown right to him. I see he's another zone cornerback, mainly zone corner. He has a mean streak to him that I really like. This guy will lay you out, and I love that nasty streak. You got, like Mike said before, that is something great to have. Cornerbacks need to have that sort of. I says tries to take down players however he can. Not the best form tackler, but he likes to lay people out. Here's the thing about Asante Samuel Jr. In my opinion, he was my 10th ranked cornerback. They took him in the second round 47th overall pick. I feel like there was better guys on the board, in my opinion. He was my 10th ranked corner. I give this one a C plus. Not the greatest pick. He's gritty. He's good downfield coverage. I mean, but I feel like the stats will get you twisted up. The stats and the name will get you twisted up and take this guy a little too early. We'll wait and see. But I'm not the hugest fan of Asante Samuel Jr., but we'll wait. Like I said, we'll wait and see what happens.
Around him.
What's that?
The defense struggled.
They did.
Wasn't all him. It was just like was it Dobbins or Cam Akers? Who came out of Florida State running? Did Cam Akers come out of Florida State?
I'm drawing a complete blank right now.
I think Cam Akers came out of. Let me make sure before.
I think it is Cam Akers.
And we didn't fault him for struggling.
Yeah, no, it was Cam Akers.
A bad team, and Asante Samuel had the same problem this year. That's why I'm not faulting him for it. And I think he's got the ability to be a good cornerback, especially with a talented defense like the Chargers.
Yes. All right, here we go. Next guy, Josh Palmer. Go ahead.
Josh Palmer did not make my top 10 rankings for wide receivers. But he's a big target for Justin Herbert. Herbert needs more targets in this offense, especially after they lose Hunter Henry. Keenan Allen always has those injury concerns. Mike Williams also. I think he's a bit inconsistent, but then again, wasn't always his fault because he played for Tennessee, which had quarterback problems, never had a solid quarterback throwing him the ball. So I don't know a huge lot about him. I think his body control and getting to the ball was probably the best thing he does. And I think with Justin Herbert throwing him the ball, that immediately is going to make him better. So I think there were better receivers. I think this is a reach. But we'll see what happens. They saw something in him.
Yeah, I don't know anything about I scouted, and if they don't make me see that doesn't mean that I scouted 27 receivers. Unfortunately, he didn't make the list. He could be better than those guys. He could be worse than those guys. I didn't scout him. I have no opinion on him. Let's go to the next guy, Trey McKitty, tight end. Go ahead.
Trey McKitty, I don't believe he made my top 10 either, but I do remember scouting him. Let's see what I have written down real quick. Trey McKitty, he had good speed to be a receiving tight end. Nice feel as a receiver. He's got a good size mismatch versus safeties. I believe he stands 6'4", 247. Nick, am I correct?
6'4", 240. That sounds about right. I just got to look and see. Time out.
The weaknesses I did see with him is not a great route runner. He can get struggled when he's pressed. When there's a guy who's physical with him and they stuff him at the line, sometimes he struggles to get off of it. He needs to improve his physicality in general as a whole, blocking and in the receiving game. I need to see him get nastier and get stronger. But the potential's there. You need a guy because you lose a Hunter Henry. That's a huge loss for your team. McKitty can run. He can flat out run. He can catch the football. You teach him some blocking. Get him to be a better blocker. I think he's going to be fine for this team.
Yeah. So on my sheet, I'm listed at 6'5", 245, which means he's a big guy, right? So in my notes, I got.
Sorry, I said 6'4". I had him at 6'4".
No, yes. So look, I got written down big guy who's not afraid of catching balls over the middle of the field, and absorbing contact. So that means he'll go over the middle of the field, get laid out.
Yeah.
He will do that. What I do have written down though, he says seems decently quick on film, but did not run a 40 or attempt the bench. So we don't know the strength.
That's my number one thing. Strength to me. I think he needs to get stronger. I saw it on tape.
Again, the 40, he didn't run one, but he did seem quicker on film. Doesn't use his big body to go get balls like crazy, meaning going up, using his body to go up and get balls over people, right? Catching ball in traffic, up over.
In my opinion, he needs to just be more physical. And that's a hard thing. You can't teach that.
No, and I said not a bad tight end, but not great either. Here's the thing with Trey McKitty. You use him on slants. He doesn't care about going over the middle field and getting laid out by a linebacker. He'll do that. Right? He's not a weak-minded, not mentality. But then, it's like, all right, now it's time to go up and jump, like a jump ball. He's not that. He'll go over, and I don't know what something happened when I zoomed there, but he'll go over the middle of the field, okay, and absorb contact over the middle of the field, but he's not going to go up and over somebody. So that's the thing there. So I give this a C. He was my 10th ranked tight end, and I gave it a C. Let's go to Chris Rumph. Go ahead.
Who?
Chris Rumph.
I didn't scout Chris Rumph.
All right, so Chris Rumpf, I got listed down. Really good finesse pass rusher, although he does seem small. They stick him inside and outside, but I would recommend outside and using him as a finesse guy. His pursuit seems great on film, although I cannot verify without a 40-yard time. I don't know how fast he actually is, but he does seem like he pursues the quarterback pretty well. Had him as my 8th ranked edge rusher. I give it a B+ as a draft grade. I like this pick. Pretty dang good guy on the outside. Again, inside and outside versatility-wise, I like him more on the outside as a finesse rusher. Let's go next guy, Brendan James. You have him? Okay, he's an offensive tackle. I said good pass blocker, sometimes whiffs in the run game. Not a really impressive bench, which was concerning to me. But again, we see people like Orlando Brown overcome that very easy. They need an offensive line, like you said. They go and take another guy. Brendan James, 11th ranked offensive tackle on my board. He was listed as a left tackle. I gave it a C as a grade. Nick Neiman, do you know him? I don't either. Larry Roundtree.
Did not scout him either.
This guy was one of the most disappointing guys I've ever watched.
It was terrible
in my life. I watched 19 running backs, and he was by far the worst running back I've ever watched. I don't know how people scout. Like, I don't know. I hope the best. I hope the Chargers are the best. I don't know what they seen in this kid. So this kid is good at protecting the football. This is what I had to write down in my notes. He's good at protecting the football and breaks a decent amount of tackles. I had to write something positive, as it has good speed in open space. Just do not see much of anything else. He was my 19th ranked running back. This guy, there was nothing. I mean, nothing special about the guy. You look at his speed. Not good in film, nor did he run a 40 time. He ran a 4.62 40 time. That's the slowest out of all the running backs that came out that ran a 40 time. That's slower than some tight ends. Okay? This guy, there was nothing special about the guy at all. I thought he was one of the worst prospects I've ever seen before in my life. I gave this one a D-. It was the closest thing I've ever saw to an F. This single-handedly brings down the draft grade. The backup all Eckler. Yeah, I could have just gave it an F and have been you were. I've never. Oh, what's that?
Something real quick. This has nothing to do with the draft whatsoever. But Austin Eckler is a very underrated running back in my opinion.
Yeah, he is.
I think Austin Eckler had a great year last year until he got injured. He was running the ball because I remember we talked about it. We were both kind of wrong. We said that we thought he was more of a receiving guy. Didn't run well. Last year he ran well.
Very well. Very well.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if he was going to be able, not that I didn't think, but I didn't know. Neither of us knew if he would be able to be the number one and run the way he did as a backup. He ran very well. The thing is that to get a
he ran very well.
Larry Roundtree, the thing with Larry Roundtree is
he's not going to run well.
I don't know what the hell, not a good receiving back, nothing. Like, there's nothing. I had to say that he's good at protecting the football as like his positive. There's nothing else there. I said he was one cut back to. That's it. Mark Webb, anything about him?
I've never heard of him before in my life.
Me either. All right. I heard of a guy named Mark and a last name named Webb, but I don't know Mark Webb. Here we go.
I'm looking at this draft, right? I'm thinking all you did was reach, LA, except for Slater. I like Asante Samuel, so I'm not going to say that was a reach. I do like him. I think he can play big. I think Josh Palmer was a reach. I think Trey McKitty was a reach. Don't know much about Rumpf. The running back, I didn't scout him, but from what you said, he's absolutely terrible. I'm going to give the
I would love for anybody just to watch his film and tell me what's good about it. I mean, please, but go ahead.
I think the Chargers deserve a B- here.
All right.
Because of strictly Slater. Slater is a phenomenal pick.
Yeah, I think Slater is a great pick. Look, what did you give him?
B-.
I'm right around you. I was debating between a C+, B-, but I'm gonna go C+.
C+,
Look,
B-. It's close.
It would be a B- if you didn't take Brendan James and Larry Roundtree. There's better guys on the board. A lot. Like, I'm gonna stay on this. I mean, we can say, oh, how does one pick change it? Elijah Mitchell was a great option.
Javon Hawkins didn't get drafted.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, Javon Hawkins. I can go on and on. C.J. Verdell, Kenneth, like Puka Williams, Michael Carter, Demetri, Khalil, Trace. Like, there are so many names. Jarrett Patterson from Buffalo was a huge fan of his. Kylan Hill. I don't know where a lot of these guys went undrafted and late. Some of them got drafted before, but there were so many better running backs than this guy, and you went with this guy, which just, that's what brings it down for me. I feel like there was better guys available, and you didn't take one. Brendan James. All right, well, he's iffy. Trey McKitty was iffy. It's not the same. Like I said, I think that was a little bit of a reach. Rashawn Slater is the only thing that's keeping this up from being below a C+, in my opinion. Look, I'm going to go with a C+ here. LA. I love Justin Herbert. I really do. Eckler, I like him. Mike Williams, I like him. Keenan Allen, big fan of Keenan Allen. Defensively, like it. Brandon Staley, I'm a fan of his. I'll go more into that when we do our coaching grades. We'll have a whole video on that. LA fans, listen, stay tuned. Be sure to like, subscribe. I'm going to give you a C+. Mike gives you a B-. Stay tuned. We got a lot more coming your way. Debates, so much more. Stay tuned. Mike, that's all from me. Anything else from you?
We like your quarterback, so I mean, don't get mad at us because we didn't particularly love your draft. I think you got a superstar at the quarterback position. I said that years and years and years before. He would have been my number one quarterback in the Kyler Murray draft if he decided to come out. I'm happy he's landed with the Chargers. I like him better in that system with them weapons than I think I would have liked him in Arizona's system.
Absolutely.
I'm excited for the Chargers this year. They should contend in this division. They should.
I think so. AFC West is very tough. Look, that's all, guys. We'll be going into standing breakdown. I mean, where we rank standings, too. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you guys soon. Peace. Mike, we are.
Feel better.
See you guys soon. Peace.